My wonderful people, I salute you. Hopefully, the network will be okay here. I greet everyone. Grand Rising. I'm just waking up. I did not even watch UFC last night. That's how overly stressed out I was yesterday because I had to run some errands. Yesterday, I went to Oka, so it kind of got me so tired. Yeah, now I want to really get into the issue happening in the Persian Gulf. We really need to discuss certain things because prior to now, please, for those of you who don't understand Pidgin English, I'll be using Pidgin English because you people know that this platform is owned by one part in this conflict. It's owned by the supposed free speech people, but they can take down your account just because you are stating the obvious, stating the truth. So let that be your guiding principle as to who is lying and who is telling the truth. There is nobody censoring anybody for lying. They can only censor you for telling the truth and the bitter truth they don't want out there. For instance, now, if I don't even know how Issa Bako does it, but people like us, I can't even say half of the things he says online because that would attract certain things to my page. And right now, we are at a critical juncture in this our fight against criminality in the Southeast. You know, we are not going to sacrifice our pay for this issue happening in the Persian Gulf. But I also would want to bring on anybody who wants to debate me on this issue. I was supposed to do it on which day did I come into Owerri? That 5 p.m. But when you are reporting from the war front, it's not easy. You hardly maintain time. You hardly keep to time. Now, so many Nigerian Muslims, they are discussing this matter from a religious standpoint, while some Nigerian Christians, most Nigerian Christians, are also discussing it from a religious standpoint. I myself, I want to discuss it as a geopolitical analyst. Okay? Mine is to discuss it as a geopolitical analyst and as an honest observer, even though I have my own biases. Yes, I'm biased towards Iran. I'm going to make it clear. And my reasons are these. One, I am an anti-imperialist. I'm not a selective anti-imperialist. Two, I've never supported anybody that threw the first punch in any conflict. Never. And in this conflict, all of us know who threw the first punch. You can't be telling me that someone is violent and you go and bomb the person's leader. Why? Why? This person is violent. Okay, we've heard you. Well, let him deliver violence first. Let him buy your own people first. Now, you that went and buy their leader is now telling me how violent this person is. You are telling me they are shouting death to America, death to the choosing people. When did that shout for death to Ame started? Do you even know the history? Did Iran remove the Israeli leader in 1953 Or did America do it in Iran on behalf of Israel? This is where the question should start. So in this fight now, tell yourself the truth. No matter on whose side you are, who killed the other person's leader first? So how would you say you want justice and you are supporting the first person that went and by another person's leader? For what? Why would you even do that? Eh? Yes. Children, school children, we've been inundated with shouts of Iran doing this to girls, this and that. Meanwhile, in Iran, majority of their university students are women. Okay, you care for their women so much that you bombed 168 students, girls, school girls. The same school girls you are telling us you care about. This happened before our presence, the same day this thing started. So what is your problem? You that calls yourself a reasonable person, yet you are not even seeing this for what it actually is. You are just repeating all the garbage they've taught you in the past and all these teachings from Schofield Bible. You people should not run now, because I really want to debate each and any one of you that are supporting this imperialism. Somebody said, what about this nuclear energy Iran is building? One, they are not building any nuclear weapon that anyone knows of. Even if they are doing it, America has their own, Israel have their own. Did Iran go to Israel and say, you are not supposed to have a nuclear weapon? No, ask yourself, you that is asking me this question. The choosing people have their own at the Dimona nuclear plant. Eh? Did Iran go and ask Israel to stop their own program? Israel does not even fully acknowledge their own. They are not even signatory to the anti-nuclear pact. So you mean these other people are free to build their nuclear weapons and these people are not? Why? Are you not seeing the racism there? Are you not seeing the discrimination? Did you ask yourself, this thing I'm repeating, does it make sense? Pakistan, they have nuclear weapon in Pakistan. Between Pakistan and Iran, which one is a more stable country? Between Pakistan and Iran, which one is a hotbed for terrorism? No, tell me. Explain to me how it's not racism and discrimination. Tomorrow, one African country will want to develop their own nuclear weapon now. They will tell you, oh, they are building a nuclear. Like, what is your business? What is your business? Why would the Europeans be the ones to decide who gets the nuke and who doesn't? Okay, how about everybody destroy your own? Eh? Let me block this food. Let me block this food. Your father now, you don't know anything. Wait, you know will come up and block him. Come on, get out of here. Why is it that some countries are allowed to have nuke and some are not allowed? Have you even asked yourself that question? Like, let this common sense solve that useless question. You are telling me that Iran is building a nuclear weapon. North Korea has a nuclear weapon. How many people have they attacked with it? Pakistan has a nuclear weapon. I will tell you 90% that Turkey even has that nuke. Saudi, if they don't have it already, they will not be far from it. India has a nuclear weapon. This is India, where they have a class-based society. If you are born today in India, there is a level you will never attain just because you are from so place. But they have. This nuclear issue they are talking about, why would some people have it and others don't? You have been trying to destroy a country. Now you are accusing them of getting a nuke. it will be useless for Iran not to have nuke. If Gaddafi had nukes, what happened to him would not have happened. If Sudan had nukes, UAE, and for those of you that are thinking that all these wars are religious based, the number one country that destroyed the Sudan, is UAE. Okay? A country that was established 1948. 1948 has a nuke. But a civilization that has existed 4,000 something years as Persians, and they've been existing more than that. This one said, does Pakistan, you don't even know what the war of terror on terror is all about. Pakistan is hub for Al Qaeda and ISIS, in case you don't know. Look at this one. Al Qaeda, where do you think they were formed? Do you know what is happening in Peshawar? Like, what places do you know in Pakistan? Where do you know in Pakistan? Without Pakistan, there will not be terrorism in Afghanistan. Quote me anywhere. When the Americans were arming the same Taliban we call terrorists, where was the base? It was in Pakistan. In case you don't know, the part of the Taliban, the part of the Afghanis that are dealing in heroin, those people who own the poppy field, now the part where they're very close to Pakistan, and they are working with the Pakistani intelligence, in case you don't know. Okay? Pakistan is the number one heart of terrorism in that region. Without Pakistan, there will not be terrorism in Afghanistan. Check all the countries surrounding Afghanistan. Tajik, China, the other side. This other place, you have Iran. It is only Pakistan they are using as a base. This one say, were you there when Al Qaeda was formed? Where was Al Qaeda formed? Where was Osama bin Laden? Do you even know the story of Al Qaeda? Go to the Colbert Report. He has the best documentary on Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda was formed by the United States of America. The name of the operation is Operation Cyclone. Are you hearing me now? Anything I'm mentioning, just be verifying it with your phone. Now. Okay? Al Qaeda was formed by America in Pakistan in order to fight the Soviets in Afghanistan. You see this lady on MSNBC, Mika Brzezinski, the one that is co-hosting Morning Joe. I call it Morning Joke with Joe Scarborough. You know that lady? Now the father who that give you the contract. Okay? Ike Chukwu, just jot down everything I'm saying and tell me. The anyone I'm telling you, I will give you evidence. You are free to fact check me live. You are free to fact. I don't tell you to believe me. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Never believe anything I'm saying. Go verify if I'm lying. Come here and tell me. Mika Brzezinski, the father, was the one that headed the operation. The name is Operation Cyclone. That was the formation of Al Qaeda. Bin Laden, you people are talking about, was even just the money man. Because the funding of Al Qaeda came from the Gulf states. Saudi Arabia, number one. Qatar, number two, but mostly Saudi Arabia. You see Adnan Khashoggi, brother to this one that they butchered in Turkey at the Saudi embassy. The senior brother, now him been they send the guns, they go there. Bin Laden, he own that to they contribute money, to they collect money from other people. Are you understanding me now? Al-Qaeda is a Sunni extremist group, just like ISIS is a Sunni extremist group. Iranians are Shia. They are Shiites. Are you understanding it now? You need to go do your own geopolitical research. Do not believe me. Take down everything I'm saying. Go and start investigating them one after the other. When you hear ISIS, you are hearing America, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, UAE. They are the ones that sponsored ISIS. Have you people read anything about Lawrence of Arabia other than the movie, the Hollywood version? Have you studied Lawrence of Arabia? Some of you are seeing the Mufti in Saudi Arabia telling you, oh, that the Americans and the Saudi soldiers, they will fight side by side against Iran. And you are forgetting that Saudi Arabia as a country was set up by the British Empire, which the US inherited. And they gave the country to two families, the Al Saud family and the, what's the name of this, the religious arm of Saudi Arabia. It is one military, one religious arm. It's not Salafism. Oh, please, someone remind me the name of that family that they gave the religious right in Saudi Arabia, but they gave the Al Saud family. That is why the country is answering Saudi Arabia. They conquered every single tribe around them and formed that country. It is only the ones you call Yemenis, Yemen, that refuse to surrender to them, just like the Yemenis did not surrender to the Roman Empire. Even though the way from the Roman Empire, Yemen has always been hostile to Western powers. Are you understanding? Jot down this thing. Please, someone remind me the name of the people that they gave the religious rights in Saudi Arabia. The Sharif of Mecca then and the one in Jerusalem were the ones they used. Lawrence of Arabia, Wahhabi, thank you. Abdul Wahab. Thank you, Umar, incarnate. They gave the Wahhab family the religious right and gave the Al Saud family the military right. Go and check the story. This is not the first time the Al Saud family is ruling there. 1830 something, they be done the rule there. Then there are people who devoted against them, destroyed them until the British reinstalled them. This is the origin of Saudi Arabia. This is the origin. Remember when Erdogan and the Saudis were making problem? Well done, bro. During the time they buy Khashoggi at the Saudi embassy in Turkey. Remember what Erdogan told them? Erdogan told them, you are a fake country. He said countries that were not existing 100 years ago and will not be existing in the next 100 years should not be speaking to us. We are Turks. Turkey was once controlling that area, many places in that area. It was a part, that so many places there was a part of the Ottoman Empire, just like Israel of today was a part of the Ottoman Empire. Go study the history. Know where this came from. Palestine was ruled by Ottoman Turks. The first German bank that came to Palestine is, what's the name of this popular German bank? Oh, now where they do wire. Deutsche Bank. When the first Deutsche Bank was opened in Palestine, who gave them the right to open it? It was the Ottomans, because they were the ones ruling it. Are you understanding me now? Now, Makadalo. Are you getting it now? This is history. This is pure history. This is pure history. Somebody is telling me, would you want a IPOB Biafra to have a? Are they a country? Like what? Are you even stupid? I've been trying to respect people like you, but you are asking a stupid question. Does Biafra exist as a country? What has that got to do with this? You people will love minimizing every large issue and maximize every little issue. What has IPOB got to do with country? Is it a country? Is it a country? Because you can't get out of your emotions and hear the truth. You people are always the last to realize what's going on. This is how I was warning you people about this criminal and everything. Nobody listened to it. It was too late. So far, there is nothing I said you can argue to be false. None whatsoever. Back to the history. This is how Saudi Arabia was formed. And from that day, Saudi Arabia has remained a dog in the hands of the Western imperialists, which the USA represents today. Name all the terrorist organizations you know. Boko Haram, they pledged allegiance to ISIS and Al-Qaeda. ISIS and Al-Qaeda are Sunni extremist group. The number one enemy of ISIS and Al-Qaeda is what? Iran. General Qasem Soleimani. His number one fight in Iraq, in Syria, and all the neighboring countries was against ISIS and Al-Qaeda. His fight was against ISIS and Al-Qaeda in the Levant. The number one force that fought ISIS in Iraq are the Shia forces, Popular Mobilization Force. Okay? Do you know about the Popular Mobilization Force? Have you followed the crisis of the Middle East? For how long have you followed it? What else do you know about the crisis in the Middle East other than the rubbish you were getting on CNN, BBC, and co? Do you have any other information other than the rubbish they were feeding you? You think you used to listen? How many hours do you watch television? Prior to 2014, 24 hours of the day, I watched TV for at least 18 hours. Wherever I am, there must be a TV on in the background, or I'm pressing it with my phone, even before these smartphones come out. Even before the smartphones, today came out, I've been watching news 247. So I understand what is for informing you people and what forms your basis of reality. Are you understanding me? The number one enemy of ISIS in the whole Middle East is Iran. The people you are talking about that say they hate Monza, that say they hate terrorism, are the ones that installed an ISIS commander as leader in Syria. Who is the president of Syria? No. Tell me now, you wise person, who is the president of Syria right now? And ISIS, the number two person in the whole of ISIS, the leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq, in Syria, number two in the whole of ISIS after al-Baghdadi. But they tell you they buy al-Baghdadi. I believe al-Baghdadi just went back to Israel, if you ask me. Now, don't quote me on it, but the reason I'm telling you is this. They have caught so many Mossad agents in Libya pretending to be ISIS. And so is al-Baghdadi. Okay, who armed ISIS? All those guns, where are they coming from? Do you know about Operation Timber Sycamore? Do you know about Operation Timber Sycamore? The airline they were using to fly those weapons everywhere was Sikwe Airlines from Azerbaijan. From Azerbaijan, Silkway Airlines, go and verify. They were moving in the weapons from Romania and every part of Eastern Europe, transiting through Turkey. The Azerbaijanis allowed them because it was giving them access to military hardware. Yes. So how can the people that formed ISIS, arm them, formed Al-Qaeda, arm them, be telling you they are fighting terrorism? And the number one country they are targeting is the only country fighting against these people. This one says Syria, that one far. Afghanistan, who installed the current... No, the Taliban took power in Afghanistan. America said they want to go and remove them. After 20 years, the Taliban remained in power. So it was a failed mission. Now the people that failed after 20 years in Afghanistan wants you to believe that they will destroy Iran. I say our job as Nigerians is observatory. This should be our role. Nobody should call us to go and fight for Iran. Nobody should call us to go and fight for America. Everybody day your day. We have our problem here. As Nigerians, our job is to solve our own problem. You can see I'm in Osu. Our problem as Igbo people is also Hitukwa. Israel and America, Shebi they say they get the highest weapon. Go and fight Iran and stop disturbing us. Stop disturbing us. Shebi una they show us for Hollywood. So una weapon go do that. You see I'm there. Go open the Strait of Hormuz first. Go open the Red Sea. Prior to this war, most of you that are shouting America up and down, you never believe that Iran will stop a shipping lane. But they've stopped that shipping lane. Let them go and show their power there, not coming here to censor us on social media. Stop telling us rubbish. Thank you, Mohammed Yazid Saleh. He says, is Hezbollah a terrorist? Hezbollah is not a terrorist organization. Do you know they even have Christians in Hezbollah? Lebanese Christians are in Hezbollah. Go and ask. But your CNN will not tell you this. Go and check this Hassan Nasrallah that they buy the other time. During Christmas, he goes to celebrate Christmas with the families, the Christian families of Hezbollah fighters that died fighting Israel. Do you know about the Greater Israel Project? Do you know about Oded Yunan plan? All these things have been written long ago. No. Hezbollah has Christian fighters and Christian commanders. Go and do your research. The people that hate Christ are the ones fighting Hezbollah. People are fighting, in case you don't know. The IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, you have Iranian Christians in them too. This supreme leader that they just buy. He also goes there every Christmas, every Easter, to go there and strengthen with the families of the IRGC people that buy. Okay? They are going there to visit the Christians that buy fighting for the IRGC. Go to Iran now, you will see Christian graves. Graves marked with crosses. Armenian Christians, the safest place for the Armenian Christians in the Middle East is Iran. The oldest Christian family in the Levant. Lebanon. Now, let me tell you the history of Lebanon. Let me block this. You see all this on a nonsense call. If you notice, I don't need you to insult me if I block you. You comment anything, bam, that is senseless, I will block you immediately. Let me give you the history of Lebanon. Lebanon is an artificial country created by the French and the British. In 1916, there was an agreement between the French and the British monarchy. Check around, I know hold any book, I know they use anything. They watch up there inside bush like this. So these things, you know, when you are saying the truth, you don't need to remember anything. The Sykes-Picot Agreement. Everybody listening to me now, type Sykes-Picot Agreement. S-Y-K-E-S. Picot. P-I-C-O-T. The T is silent. Mark Sykes was the foreign minister to the British Empire. Just like Francois Picot was to the French Empire. Then, please, it goes further than oil, Nwachi. Now, in the middle of World War One, in order, the British and the French have decided how they are going to divide the Ottoman Empire. And most of you don't know that what started the World War One was not the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand. That was the bankers' version they gave you. What led to the World War One was the Berlin-Baghdad Red Road. Okay? It was the Berlin-Baghdad Railroad they were building. And had they built that railroad, that time that they were using coal, coal was the petrol of that time. And they discovered oil in Basra, Iraq, southern Iraq. This was long before it was discovered in Saudi Arabia and UAE. UAE was the last to discover oil amongst all of them. Qatar discovered before UAE. But we are moving forward. Okay? The Berlin-Baghdad Railroad, had they built it, it would be transporting oil from the Ottoman Empire. At that time, it was the dying days of the Ottoman Empire. By then, they've been calling the Ottoman Empire the sick man of Europe because their financial system had crumbled then. This was the dying days of the Ottoman Empire. Now, that railroad, had it been completed, they would be carrying oil from Iraq through the entire heartland of the Ottoman Empire, past Istanbul, go into Romania, and straight it will go to Germany from there. The British being the biggest competitor to Germany then. And mind you, by then, Germany had come together. Germany had become one country. They've united Germany, and they became a stronger economy than the UK, even though the United Kingdom, at that time it was the British Empire, was controlling majority of the world, but the German goods were competing with them, with petrol in abundance. The German companies will be bigger than the British companies. Now, Germany will swallow the wealth of Europe, Africa, and Asia with it. That was what led to that World War One. Yes. Then the British started promising all these Arab countries that they will give them a country of their own if they will help them fight the Ottoman during World War One. That was where the Sheriff of Mecca came in. The Sheriff of Mecca was the person, then the one in Iraq and the one in Palestine. They started telling Arabs that that was the rise of Arab nationalism, not the type of the one that not NASA, not the type NASA was preaching. The first Arab nationalism was from the British and the French. Now, what did they start targeting? They immediately started targeting all those railroads. They were not even destroyed. They will weaken them, and the Turks will come and repair it before they go back and come back the next day. They've sabotaged it again. That was what led to the death of that railroad. Meanwhile, while the war was going on, People didn't know what was happening then. Germany gave Britain opportunity after opportunity to end that First World War. Go and check. The Brits said no. Now they brought in, they have then the Jewish people in Germany are speaking to their brothers and sisters in London in order to use the Jewish connection in US. Of course, they control the US dollar. By then, they newly set up the Federal Reserve. It was 3 years then. The Federal Reserve Act was signed when? December 1913. Yes, that time it was only 3 years, but by then, the Rothschilds and their friends have completely taken over the issuance of currency from the USA. That was how America entered that war. Now, when they have seen how the war would end, the British and the French signed the Sykes-Picot Agreement. France was going to get Lebanon and Syria. The British people will get Jordan and Iraq. Britain will also get they left the Arab this thing for the Americas. That is these Gulf states now you're seeing. And Britain was also supposed to get Persia, Iran of today. Yes. In case you didn't know why Adolf, the mustache man, and his friends targeted the J people during World War II, it was after the Sykes-Picot Agreement was made public years later. By then, it was Weimar Republic in Germany that Germans realized, oh, the J people, there is no place you succeed more than Germany, yet you stab us in the back. That was why during Second World War, the Germans targeted the J people. Are you understanding it now? So the Lebanon you're talking about, this is how Lebanon became a French outpost. Then the mandate of Palestine was given to the British as neutral. Meanwhile, they didn't know that the British people have already promised that land to the Rothschild family. Go and read the Balfour Declaration. That's the Balfour Declaration you are hearing about. Please, pull up Balfour Declaration now and read. When was it signed? January 1917. When was the Sykes-Picot Agreement? Okay, no, 1917 November. After a year of the Sykes-Picot Agreement, so please, somebody pull up the Balfour Declaration right now and read it. Just while we are watching now, pull up the Balfour Declaration. That is how Britain signed out the land of Palestine that was not theirs to the European Jews. The Rothschilds, it was addressed straight, expressly to Lord Rothschild. This is how they got this land of Palestine they are fighting. You know? Not what they are telling you is Bible, is this, is a lie. I've just given you the history. I've just given you the history. Now, the Lebanon you are talking about, Hezbollah came into being because the Lebanese people found out that the Christians of Lebanon, they are minority, but they are the ones the French gave power. Are you understanding me now? Whatever these other people will be doing to them when they formed their state in 1948, these other people will not be doing anything. This is how Hezbollah came into existence. Are you understanding me now? This is how Hezbollah came into existence. Because the Lebanese government is dancing to the tune of the West. Have you forgotten the Lebanese civil war? What do you think led to it? What do you think led to it? So this is the foundation of Hezbollah. This is how they came into existence. So when they are teaching you these things about Iran and whatever, let them give you the same history I gave you. Or let them debunk any single thing I've said so far. Let them come debunk any single thing I said so far. So don't let people be using religion to confuse you. Okay, There is no country in Europe that is as Christian oriented as Russia right now. Western Europe is done. Okay? Western Europe is finished. Christianity exists only in Eastern Europe, and the only true Christianity that exists is the Orthodox Christianity. Yesterday, President Putin went to church. Yes, now he attends Orthodox Mass. You know, Orthodox Mass, you go stand up from beginning to end. He attended Orthodox Mass, yet he is helping Iran. So you think that you that accepted Christianity, which day, we now know Christianity more than Putin, whose people have accepted Christianity 1,000 years plus. Christianity came to them through Crimea over 1,000 years ago. So you now, where they Nigeria, there is no single church that is up to 200 years in Nigeria. Quote me anywhere. Show me where that church is. But somehow you think you know Christianity, you love Christians more than the Russians. The Chinese are not Christians, they are not Muslims, but they are on the side of the Iranians. So doesn't that show you it has nothing to do with religion? This has everything to do with power. The dollar is dying. The global economy as you know it is done. And this is what happened during the First World War and Second World War too. They always use war to press the reset button. Are you understanding me now? Are you getting it now? This is the truth. It's about the global currency. Oh, America has invaded Ecuador again. Oh. Okay? America don't invade Ecuador. What in Ecuador people do them again? Some people will be telling you, I was listening to radio the other day. Iran, in 19 this one, which of those times did Iran start the fight? Were they not defending themselves? Thank you, Godwin. Actually, this is the decline of the petrodollar. People that. So let me pause this. So my people, sorry, I had to. They were talking. I didn't want the voice to enter the stream. So my people, this is what happens each time there is a financial problem. There is one. Yeah, I've forgotten the name of this YouTube something finance, but it follows war history through finance. Then you will begin to understand how all these things are going on. Okay? You will understand how these things are being formulated and why the propaganda, the so-called superpower are now telling people anybody that is going to fight in Iran is free to come. They are just repeating the same thing they did in Syria. In Syria, they gathered people from Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Azerbaijan, Saudi Arabia, the Chechens, even all the criminals that were condemned to buy in Saudi Arabia. They gave them an option of going to fight in Syria or getting hanged in Saudi Arabia, and they took it. Okay? That was how they gathered all the people they used to destroy Syria. Do you think that happened in Syria? All those fighters are from Syria. This is the same thing they are trying to do in Iraq. And I'm happy so many people in Iran, all these other ethnic groups within Iran, they have come to give their support, that they are not in support of any foreign invasion. Of course, they know they don't have the capacity to invade Iran. That's why they need to incite internal strife. They can't. Okay? They can't. Yes, thank you, my brother Owobu. They want to invade Cuba. Yeah, Cubans Muslims too. Ecuadorians are Christians and atheists. Why Ecuador again? Wars everywhere. Why are they building all these military bases if it's not for the installation of this their central banking system? This is the problem, and they don't even have sound money. They don't have sound money. Their anger is that Iran has been brought into BRICS, and the chosen people don't need any strong country around them that is not people that they are controlling. You have seen the Epstein files. How many Iranians are in those files? But you see the people from the ruling monarchies of Saudi Arabia, from UAE, from Qatar, from all of these places. They are holding them under blackmail. That's why whatever Israel do, they must support them. They will be forced to give them public support. Yes, they are under blackmail. Mohammed bin Salman in Saudi Arabia, you are not allowed to drink. But we have all seen the photos of Mohammed bin Salman in clubs. Many Saudi bloggers, they have in jail. Even some they buy. Are people that have evidence of all these people and the lives they are living in California. Go and see how many homes they have in California, New York, Washington, D.C., all these places. Okay? They need to destroy Iran in order to save the Gulf states. How are they telling you they are trying to bring democracy to Iran? They've not even brought democracy to Saudi Arabia. You want to replace the leaders of Iran who are voted in, who are voted in by their people, with the son of Reza Pahlavi, with Shah. The people you want to give a king is the person you are telling you want to save democracy in Iran by installing a king? Really? Like yourself, where they listen to them, how will they sound for your head? Somebody said they want to help Iran with democracy, and their solution is to give them a king. Are you okay? Let's see how they will do election in Syria. Have they done any election in Libya? Libya is what now? 14 years. They removed Gaddafi. Have they done election in Libya? Let them do an election in Libya first. They set up election in Libya knowing that Gaddafi's son will win. They buy him. Are you understanding the trick? How many times do they need to lie to you before your brain opens? How many times do they need to bullshit you, bamboozle you before your head starts working? Like, at what point would you listen and say, oh, what they are telling me doesn't make sense? Eh? Go study your history. Iran is the #1 enemy of Islamic terrorism in that region, because Shias are not terrorists by nature. Now, these Sunni countries, Sunni states, how can the person fighting against ISIS be the #1 state sponsor of terror? The same story they use for Saddam Hussein. Meanwhile, Saddam Hussein was fighting against Al Qaeda. Eh? My people, I will need to stop this thing now because they are doing something important. We are going to revisit this topic. Meanwhile, as I leave you, Go and do your research on every single thing I just said. How many minutes is this? 49 minutes. It will be like 52 minutes by the time I end. Go and do your research. All the things I listed. Go and research each and every one of them. And if you are not emotionally driven, you will see the truth, because the truth is always before you. It's up to you to accept it, or you keep living in denial. Thank you so much, my people. I love you all and stay blessed.